Hello there and welcome back to another video. I hope your day is as good as possible today, whatever you are going to be doing. There's a lot to unpack in this video, or a lot more than normal, and I don't want the video to go on too long, so we're just going to get straight into it and we're going to look at Troy Deeney's comments about coming back to training and stuff like that. We're going to look at the comments that were made last night about Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp has made some comments about the title race and possible trophy presentation as well and such like that. But let's get straight into Troy Deeney's comments here and see whether you agree with him. I do. I totally get. He's got different sides to this of why he doesn't want to come back to training. He will not be the only one that doesn't want to come back to training, but he himself has said he doesn't want to put himself at risk, but doesn't also want to put the risk of his son there either. His son is apparently 5 months old. Well, he's not apparently, he says this in the article. He says he's 5 months old and he has breathing difficulties. Only takes one person to be a carrier of this virus or something like that. Troy Deeney could be asymptomatic, which means that he doesn't show the symptoms of that virus, isn't affected by them, but he could still carry it. He takes that home to his child, who is 5 months old, a young child, has breathing problems. You can see where this is going. It wouldn't necessarily. I'm not saying it would end badly, but it would not be a good time at all in the Deeney household, and I totally understand that as well. And I've highlighted here a comment he said as well. I just said the simplest thing. I can't get a haircut until mid-July, but I can go and get in a box with 19 people and jump for a header. I don't know how that works. No one could answer the questions, not because they didn't want to, but because they don't know the information. Underneath, he says, I just said, if you don't know the information, why would I put myself at risk? I've lost my dad, my granddad. I've more or less everyone that I care about. So that, to me, is more important than a few quid in my back pocket. Oh, he's taken a hell of a hit from fellow Liverpool fans for speaking out about not wanting to come back training, and purely because people are saying, well, obviously they're a relegation battler. Why would they want to come back? It's purely on a selfish monetary value sort of thing. I think from Troy Deeney's perspective right here, you can see that that's not the case. He's genuinely got genuine concerns, but that paragraph right there, it just makes sense as to why he the questions that probably all footballers have is that you can't go for a haircut till mid-July. You can't go and sit in a restaurant at the moment. Some places are starting to open up slowly. Some fast food places are starting to open up a little bit slowly, but they're still not doing sit-in as it stands right now. But as he says here, and as we've seen in the Bundesliga, there's a separate video being made about the Bundesliga. I will post that as well a little later on today. But you see all the tackles were going in just as normal. Chances in the box and such like that. There was a really weird picture, and I'll try and find it for later, of everyone was celebrating with their right elbows and stuff like that, and then if there's a corner, they're all together, but then when you go and look at the bench, they're all 2 meters apart. What's the point? Because they've just been on the pitch, or they're waiting to go on the pitch where they're going to be in and amongst many other people. I get what they're trying to do, social distancing wise and stuff like that, but that makes no sense. If you're sat on the bench and you're 2 meters apart from everyone, but then you get on the pitch and you're slamming into people, and I don't know, doesn't make sense. So he's got some very, very valid points of why he will not be returning to training. I think he's adamantly said it. He will not be going back to training at all, and you've got to respect it. Do you agree with his points of view? Because for me, it's exactly these reasons why I felt that the Premier League is coming back far too soon. They don't. That sentence here where he says no one could answer the questions, not because they didn't want to, but because they don't know the information. It's exactly right. It's exactly right. It's exactly what people have been saying for a long, long time. And I feel that's why the Premier League is coming back far too soon, because we don't know the proper information. Now, Jurgen Klopp has made some comments. I think it's actually his first comments about, one, about null and void, and two, about the actual prospect of not being able to lift the title if we win the appropriate games that we need. So he made some good comments as well. There was talk that people wanted to declare the season null and void, so you thought, we played 76% of the season and you just want to delete the thing. That would have been something that I personally would find unfair, to just say that it didn't happen. We are first in the home table, first in the away table. It's a season in which we should become champions. And if we go on and we win I think it's either at least another one game if City lose or draw or something like that, or we've got to win 2 games minimum to be awarded the title on merit, on having earned it, which is obviously one thing that, rival fans are sticking to at the moment. But it's absolutely, it's absolutely true. His comments ring true with what everyone else has been saying. A setback for the null and void brigade on Monday as the Premier League approved a move to allow clubs to return to small group training this week. So the next step will be setting a date for the return, expected to be either the 12th of June or the 19th of June. Now, coming back to small group training as well is pretty big, and I'm pretty sure that Liverpool are going to be in training today, I think. Now, it's something, from what I read, from what I remember, it's something like you've got, like 10 people in like group training, and you might have like shift training or something like that as well. But having them back in group training means that if they're wanting to come back on the 12th of June, 19th of June, which is, if it's 19th of June, it's 4 weeks from now, which would probably be better. Otherwise, it's 3.5 weeks. Got to make sure that fitness levels are up. But I know that Liverpool themselves have been doing a lot of like, it might be Zoom, but I'm not entirely sure. But they've all been in contact with each other, doing like training sessions together, as well as doing their own individual training sessions as well. So, like, I think it could be a good move. That, it's a good move for football. I still think it's too soon, in my opinion. I will stick to that. I think it's too soon in this country to come back. I don't know whether we've got the appropriate. Yes, you can do all the testing and such like that, but I don't know. It just seems a little bit too soon at the moment, in my opinion. But on the back of this article as well, the Premier League hope to allow Liverpool trophy presentation if they complete their march to the first title in 30 years, which is important as well. It's a very important thing. The English top flight is continuing to work on its Project Restart plans amid the coronavirus pandemic, with 20 clubs unanimously agreeing to the first stage of a return to training when they gathered on Monday. Now, a unanimous agreeing to the first stage of a return, I'm not entirely sure whether that means every single club agreed. I think you needed a minimum of, I think you needed 6 clubs to disagree for this not to happen. So I think anywhere between 15, 16, 17, 18 clubs, something like that. I think that would, probably that'd be a majority decision. I'm trying to think in terms of, combat sports and stuff when a decision is given. But even so, that does now mean that no relegation battling clubs can argue about this happening because it's all been unanimously agreed. So you've got to move forward with it. Now, the Premier League say if it is at all possible, yes, we will hold one, meaning the trophy presentation. We would like to have a trophy presentation to give the players and staff the moment they have worked so hard for. We would try and do it unless it wasn't possible because of safety concerns. We are focused on finishing the 2019-20 season, but we also have to plan for all eventualities. So, again, they still don't know what's going to happen, still don't really know how everything is going to end up being wrapped up. But they're going to try and afford every possible, avenue to give Liverpool the trophy presentation once we've earned it, if we earn it. As I say, we don't know how teams are really going to come back into, playing games and such like that. We know how they played. We know we weren't in the best of form coming to the start of lockdown and such like that, and the Premier League being stopped or paused. But we don't know how all teams are going to come back. Are all teams going to come back fit and well and playing just as they did beforehand, or could it be a bit of a detriment to them? Who is going to, which players are, like, Troy Deeney's got a great point. He's got very, very valid points as well, and I'm sure many other players will if they don't want to return to training, if they don't want to come back and train, if they're not comfortable with it. That is totally fine and totally respectable as well. You have to respect it. I personally still think, and I've said this so many times, it's just going to be like a, me on repeat. But I still think that this June, middle of June, is too soon for the Premier League to come back, and that's just my opinion. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm a massive Liverpool fan. I want us to be able to win the title, but I still think that with how things are in this country at the moment and so many uncertainties for everybody, nobody has any proper concrete answers of this is how you overcome this is how we're going to get rid of this is how we're going to stop this virus from spreading. No one knows. Everyone's just, at the moment, most of us are staying in their houses and trying to do the best that they can to abide by government laws. Most people, other people aren't. There are no proper concrete answers of how to do it. It's all kind of just guesswork at the moment, and that's why I understand that if players feel that they're not safe enough to continue and or to come back to training, and even if it's some Liverpool players, whoever it might be, I respect it. I absolutely respect it, and I think that's all you can do. We just got to wait and see now and see what happens. But things do look positive, on the whole. Into if you're looking at it just from a football fan perspective and the Premier League coming back, it looks positive. People are still going to be complaining about the fact that no atmosphere and stuff like that, no audience, no crowd, anything like that. But it is what it will be like for the foreseeable future. Genuinely, like you don't be thinking that people are going to get back into football stadiums this year. I don't think they will. I think you'd be looking way deeper into next year. Like, I mean, deeper into next year. This virus does not seem to be letting up, and definitely hasn't shown signs of a second wave yet. And you have to watch out for that. That is something that it can be a genuine concern for everybody involved. I don't know. It just seems a little bit too soon for me. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments below about all of this. It looks positive from a Liverpool point of view, but from a human perspective point of view, what do you think of the Premier League coming back and ramping up the possibilities of Project Restart basically becoming a reality in the next 3 to 4 weeks? We could have the Premier League back. How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. There will be a Bundesliga sort of review show coming out later on today, so feel free to check that one out if you could as well. That'd be awesome. But for now, I'm out of here. Have a good day, and I'll catch you later.